Well, the challenges we have faced over the years is majorly sponsorship and funding. So, for every vision that is in a starting stage, you have to make sure you try your best to sell your vision to people. And most of the times, it doesn't end up the way you planned. But the good thing is, God has always showed up for us. There have been instances where even 2 days to the concert, 3 days to the concert, we don't have the funds that is required for us to have a successful concert. But at the end of the day, we just see God making ways for us, and even in ways that we have never imagined. So over the years, funding has been an issue. But however, as God would always have it, He has always paved the way for us. So funding, sponsorship, and also getting people to do the work. At the end of the day, God has been helping us, and we have been pushing it the best way we can. There have been times where the team has almost given up. There have been times like that over and over again. Some people say experience is the best teacher, and after having this series of programs year after year after year, it has been several experience stacking up, adding to experience, adding to this experience, and adding to this experience. Okay, so I remember Manifest 5.0. That was the edition where we had an outdoor concert. Few days to the concert, we did not have the required fund to have such a concert. I remember when we were planning for that concert, I was discussing with a friend of mine, and he was asking me if I was sure that we were going to have an outdoor concert. I never blamed him, or let me say, I did not blame him when he asked that particular question, because looking at us, we looked like we could not do it. But I just had that conviction in my spirit, man, that was what God wanted us to do that particular year. Definitely, God knew what He was doing. I remember that concert. Well, a day before the concert, we went to the venue, and the whole place was flooded. The field was flooded, and we had to make do with another space in the same compound, and that particular space happens to be better than the field where we thought we would make use of. So even before planning this particular concert, when I heard it in my spirit that we should do an outdoor concert, I doubted, and I asked a few questions, because looking at us as at then, I knew that we wouldn't be able to have such a program outdoor, because I knew what it would cost. But while I asked myself that question, a Bible scripture dropped in my mind. Funny how I never knew that Bible scripture before. I've heard of the story, but I never knew where it was in the Bible, and it was the story of Ezekiel and the Valley of Dry Bones. When it dropped in my spirit, definitely I knew God was set out to make an impossible thing become possible. That was all I needed. That was all the conviction I needed to work for that particular edition, and I followed how I was led. As God would have it, we had a good concert and a good program that year, and it has been God leading us time after time for each edition. So yes, there have been challenges, even for rehearsals. Sometimes we fix rehearsals, for volunteers to come from where they reside to the venue for rehearsals. So the issue of transportation, the issue of getting people to work, it hasn't been easy. But what I can say for a fact is God has always pulled through for us, and that is our testimony.